Longest word in English. From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, at en.wikipedia.org. The identity of the longest word in English depends upon the definition of what constitutes a word in the English language, as well as how length should be compared. In addition to words derived naturally from the language's roots, without any known intentional intervention, English allows new words to be formed by coinage and construction. Place names may be considered words. Technical terms may be arbitrarily long. Length may be understood in terms of orthography and number of written letters, or, less commonly, phonology and the number of phonemes. Here in the article there appears a table. The columns are word, letters, characteristics, dispute. The first row is methionine, threonine, threonine, glutaminil, larginil, ellipsis, isoleucine. Letters 189,819. Characteristics. Chemical name of titin, the largest known protein. Dispute. Technical, not in dictionary. Disputed whether it is a word. Word. Lopado temacho salarcogamio cranio lipsano, ellipsis, Petragon. Letters 183. Characteristics. Longest word coined by a major author. Considered the longest word ever to appear in literature. Dispute. Coined, not in dictionary. Ancient Greek transliteration. Word. Pneumono ultramicroscopic silico volcanoconiosis. Letters 45. Characteristics. Longest word in a major dictionary. Dispute. Technical. Coined to be the longest word. Word. Hippopotamonstrosis cupidaleophobia. Letters 35. Characteristics. Non-technical. Extended from hippopotamonstrosis cupidalean. Means the fear of long words. Dispute. None. Word. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Letters 34. Characteristics. Famous for being created for the Mary Poppins film and musical. Dispute. Coined. Word. Pseudo-hypoparathyroidism. Letters 30. Characteristics. Longest non-coined word in a major dictionary. Dispute. Technical. Word. Hippopotamonstrosis cupidalean. Letters 30. Characteristics. Non-technical. Meaning a word coined so as to be very long. Dispute. Coined. Word. Flossy-nossy nihilopilification. Letters 29. Characteristics. Longest unchallenged non-technical word. Dispute. Coined. Word. Anti-disestablishmentarianism. Letters 28. Characteristics. Longest non-coined and non-technical word. Dispute. None. Word. Horrificabilitudinitatis. Letters 27. Characteristics. Longest word in Shakespeare's works. Longest word in the English language featuring alternating consonants and vowels. Dispute. Latin. So ends the information in the table. Contents. 1. Major dictionaries. 2. Coinages. 2.1. Advertising coinages. 3. Constructions. 4. Technical terms. 5. Place names. 6. Scrabble. 7. Words with certain characteristics of notable length. 7.1. Typed words. 7.2. Common words in general text. 8. Humor. 9. See also. 10. References. 11. External links. Section 1. Major dictionaries. The longest word in any of the major English language dictionaries is pneumono ultramicroscopic silico volcanoconiosis, a word that refers to a lung disease contracted from the inhalation of very fine silica particles, specifically from a volcano. Medically, it is the same as silicosis. The word was deliberately coined to be the longest word in English, and has since been used in close approximation of its originally intended meaning, lending at least some degree of validity to its claim. The Oxford English Dictionary contains pseudo-hypoparathyroidism, 30 letters. The longest non-technical word in major dictionaries is flossy-nosy nihilopilification, at 29 letters, consisting of a series of Latin words meaning nothing, and defined as the act of estimating something as worthless. Its usage has been recorded as far back as 1741. Section 2. Coinages. In his play Assemblywomen, Ecclesia Zeussae, the ancient Greek comedic playwright Aristophanes created a word of 183 letters, which describes a dish by stringing together its ingredients, as follows: Lopado tamacos sel acagamio cranio lipsano drimi potre matro sufio carabomel itokata keki menoki lepi fofato pariste. Electrio noptoke phaleoki clopelio lagosio sireo bafi tregonoptrigon. Henry Carey's farce Chronon Hotonthologos, 1743, holds the opening line. Oldiboron ti finos koforino, where left you, Chronon Hotonthologos? James Joyce made up 9 101-letter words in his novel Finnegan's Wake, the most famous of which is Baba Badel gar aganta caminoron con bron toneron twan thron throvar huanon squan tuhu horden and thurnak. Appearing on the first page, it allegedly represents the symbolic thunderclap associated with the fall of Adam and Eve. As it appears nowhere else except in reference to this passage, it is generally not accepted as a real word. Sylvia Plath made mention of it in her semi-autobiographical novel The Bell Jar, when the protagonist was reading Finnegan's Wake. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, the 34-letter title of a song from the movie Mary Poppins, does appear in several dictionaries, but only as a proper noun, defined in reference to the song title. The attributed meaning is a word that you say when you don't know what to say. The idea and invention of the word is credited to songwriters Robert and Richard Sherman. Section 2.1. Advertising coinages. In 1973, Pepsi's advertising agency, Boas Massimi Pollitt, used a 100-letter but several-word term, lip-smackin', thirst-quenchin', ace-tastin', motivatin', good buzzin', cool talkin', high-walkin', fast-livin', ever-givin', cool fizzin', in TV and film advertising. In 1975, the 71-letter but several-word advertising jingle, 2 all-beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, was first used in a McDonald's restaurant advertisement to describe the Big Mac sandwich. Section 3. Constructions. The English language permits the legitimate extension of existing words to serve new purposes by the addition of prefixes and suffixes. This is sometimes referred to as aggluative construction. This process can create arbitrarily long words. For example, the prefixes pseudo, false, spurious, and anti, against, opposed to, can be added as many times as desired. A word like anti-aircraft, pertaining to the defense against aircraft, is easily extended to anti-anti-aircraft, pertaining to counteracting the defense against aircraft, a legitimate concept, and can from there be prefixed with an endless stream of antis, each time creating a new level of counteraction. More familiarly, the addition of numerous greats to a relative, e.g., great-great-great-grandfather, can produce words of arbitrary length. Anti-disestablishmentarianism is the longest common example of a word formed by aggluative construction, as follows. The numbers succeeding the word refer to the number of letters in the word. Establish, 9. To set up, put in place, or institute, originally from the Latin stare, to stand. Disestablish, 12. To end the established status of a body, in particular a church, given such status by law, such as the Church of England. Disestablishment, 16. The separation of church and state, Specifically, in this context, it is the political movement of the 1860s in Britain. Anti-disestablishment. 20. Opposition to disestablishment. Anti-disestablishmentary. 23. Of or pertaining to opposition to disestablishment. Anti-disestablishmentarian. 25. An opponent of disestablishment. Anti-disestablishmentarianism. 28. The movement or ideology that opposes disestablishment. Section 4. Technical terms. A number of scientific naming schemes can be used to generate arbitrarily long words. Grammar acanthaski todermo grammaris, loricato biacalensis, is sometimes cited as the longest binomial name. It is a kind of amphipod. However, this name, proposed by B. Dybowski, was invalidated by the International Code of Zoological Nomenclature. Aqueo salino calcalino seracho aluminoso coprio vitriolic, at 52 letters, describing the spa waters at Bath, England, is attributed to Dr. Edward Strother, 1675 to 1737. The word is composed of the following elements. Aqueo, equal, Latin, aquo. Salino, containing salt, Latin, salinus. Calcalino, calcium, Latin, calx. Seracho, waxy, Latin, cera. Aluminoso, alumina, Latin. Cupreo, from copper. Vitriolic, resembling vitriol. John Horton Conway and Landon Kurt Knoll developed an open-ended system for naming powers of 10, in which one sexmilia quintingent sexagentillion, coming from the Latin name for 6,560, is the name for 10 to the third times 6,560 plus 1, which equals 10 to the 19,683rd. Under the long number scale, it would be 10 to the 6 times 6,560, which equals 10 to the 39,360th. Names of chemical compounds can be extremely long if written as one word, as is sometimes done. An example of this is sodium metadiaminoperodoxyarsenobenzyl emethyl N-sulfoxylate, an arsenic-containing drug. There are also other chemical naming systems using numbers instead of meta, para, etc. as descriptive dividers, breaking up the name, which then no longer can be considered a single long word. The IUPAC nomenclature for organic chemical compounds is open-ended, giving rise to the 189,819-letter chemical name methionylthreonylthreonyl ellipsis isoleucine, which is involved in striated muscle formation. Its empirical formula is C 132,983, H 211,861, N 36,149, O 40,883, S 693. A 1,185-letter example, acetyl-ceryl treosyl ceraliso ellipsis serine, refers to the coat protein of a certain strain of tobacco mosaic virus, and was published in the American Chemical Society's Chemical Abstracts in 1972. The words internationalization and localization are abbreviated I-18N and L-10N, respectively, the embedded number representing the number of letters between the first and last. Section 5. Place names. There is some debate as to whether a place name is a legitimate word. The longest officially recognized place name in an English-speaking country is Taumata Waka Tangihan Gakau Awatama Te Pokai Wenu Wakitanatahu, 85 letters, which is a hill in New Zealand. The name is in the Maori language. In Canada, the longest place name is Dysart Dudley Harcourt Guilford Harburn Burton Havelock Ayr and Clyde, a township in Ontario, at 68 letters. The 58-character name Sanvad Pushguen Gesh Goge de Huedandro Brasante Silio Gogagoch is the famous name of a town on Anglesey, an island of Wales. This place's name is actually 51 letters long, as certain character groups in Welsh are considered as one letter. For instance, LL, NG, and CH. It is generally agreed, however, that this invented name, adopted in the mid-19th century, was contrived solely to be the longest name of any town in Britain. The official name of the place is Llanfair Pwll Gwyn Gesh, commonly abbreviated to Llanfair Pwll, or the somewhat jocular Llanfair PG. The longest place name in the United States, 45 letters, is Chargagagog Manchowgagog Chabunagungamog, a lake in Webster, Massachusetts. It means fishing place at the boundaries, neutral meeting grounds, and is sometimes facetiously translated as you fish your side of the water, I fish my side of the water, nobody fishes the middle. The lake is also known as Lake Webster. The longest hyphenated names in the U.S. are Winchester on the Severn, a town in Maryland, and Washington on the Brazos, a notable place in Texas history. The longest official geographical name in Australia is Mamungkakumparongkonjunya Hill. It has 26 letters and is a Pitjantjatjara word meaning where the devil urinates. In Ireland, the longest English place name at 22 letters is Muchanagahederdahulia, from the Irish language Muisinach Idir Dahashalele, meaning pig marsh between two saltwater inlets, in County Galway. If this is disallowed for being derived from Irish, or not a town, the longest at 19 letters is Newtown Mount Kennedy, in County Wicklow. Kron tep mahan akon amon rat tanon kosin mahin tera utaya mahadi lok pop no purat rat atoni bori rum udum rat ani mahas atan amon pimon awatan satit sakatatia usunukam praset is the ceremonial name of Bangkok, Thailand. It has the Guinness World Record for longest place name in the world. Not in English, however. Section 6. Scrabble. See also English words with uncommon properties. Section 7. Words with certain characteristics of notable length. Strengths is the longest word in the English language containing only one vowel. Rhythms is the longest word in the English language containing none of the 5 recognized vowels. Schmaltzt and strengthed appear to be the longest monosyllabic words recorded in OED, but if squirreled is pronounced as one syllable only, as permitted in SOED for squirrel, it is the longest. Uui, a medieval musical term, is the longest English word consisting only of vowels, and the word with the most consecutive vowels. However, the word itself is simply a mnemonic consisting of the vowels to be sung in the phrase Secularum Amen at the end of the lesser doxology. Although U was often used interchangeably with V, and the variant Evove is occasionally used, the V in these cases would still be a vowel. The longest words with no repeated letters are dermatoglyphics, misconjugatedly, and uncopyrightable. The longest word whose letters are in alphabetical order is the 8-letter Agilops, a grass genus. However, this is arguably both Latin and a proper noun. There are several 6-letter English words with their letters in alphabetical order, including almost, biopsy, and chintz. The longest words recorded in OED with each vowel only once and in order are abstemiously, affectiously, and tragediously. Fracedinously and gravedinously, constructed from adjectives in OED, have 13 letters. Gadspreciously, constructed from gadsprecious in OED, has 14 letters. Facetiously is among the few other words directly attested in OED with single occurrences of all 5 vowels and the semivowel Y. The longest single palindromic word in English is rotivator, another name for a rotary tiller for breaking up and aerating soil. Section 7.1. Typed words. The longest words typable with only the left hand using conventional hand placement on a QWERTY keyboard are tessera-decades, after cataracts, and the more common but sometimes hyphenated sweater dresses. Using the right hand alone, the longest word that can be typed is Johnny Jump Up, or, excluding hyphens, monomolimnian. The longest English word typable using only the top row of letters has 11 letters, rupture-wort. Similar words with 10 letters include pepperwort, perpetuity, proprietor, typewriter, requitery, repertoire, tripartite, and porriture. The word teeter-totter, used in North American English, is longer at 12 letters, although it is usually spelled with a hyphen. The longest words typable by alternating left and right hands are anti-skepticism and leucocytozoans, respectively. On a Dvorak keyboard, the longest left-hand words are papaya, kikuyu, opaque, and upkeep. Kikuyu is typed entirely with the index finger, and so the longest one-fingered word on the Dvorak keyboard. There are no vowels on the right-hand side, and so the longest right-handed word is cruth, C-R-W-T-H. Section 7.2. Common words in general text. Ross Eckler has noted that most of the longest English words are not likely to occur in general text, meaning non-technical present-day text seen by casual readers, in which the author did not specifically intend to use an unusually long word. According to Eckler, the longest words likely to be encountered in general text are deinstitutionalization and counter-revolutionaries, with 22 letters each. A computer study of over 1 million samples of normal English prose found that the longest word one is likely to encounter on an everyday basis is uncharacteristically, at 20 letters. Section 8. Humor. Smiles, according to an old riddle, may be considered the longest word in English, as there is a mile between the two S's. A retort asserts that beleaguered is longer still, since it contains a league. The riddle and both jocular answers date from the 19th century. In the old-time radio retrospective Golden Radio, comedian Jack Benny jokes that, quote, the longest word in the English language is the one that follows, now here's a word from our sponsor, unquote. Section 9. See also. This section suggests 9 Wikipedia articles for reading. They are: Dünner Domschiffet Elektrizitäten Hauptbetriebswerk Bauunterbeamtgesellschaft. Longest published word in German. English words with uncommon properties. Lipogram. List of the longest English words with one syllable. Longest English sentence. Longest word in Spanish. Longest word in Turkish. Number of words in English. Scriptio continua. Section 10. References. There are 25 references available in the written form of this article. Please be sure to verify information found on Wikipedia using the references provided or by cross-referencing the information yourself. Section 11. External links. In addition to the above, 7 external links have been listed for finding additional information online. You have now come to the end of Longest Word in English. This sound file and all text in the article are licensed under the Creative Commons Attribution Share-alike 3.0 Unported License, available at creativecommons.org/licenses/by-sa/3.0. This spoken article is based on the written article last modified 26 November 2010 and was recorded by Wikipedia user Will Sachs, who hopes you have enjoyed this audio presentation.